I want to start off by saying thank you guys. You guys got down in that truck right there with me, and it meant so much. And kept me calm all the way through it, made sure that I wasn't getting dirt in my mouth any more than I already had. I guess when they finally got me up here, they were pulling chunks out. No, I just want to make sure that you guys made sure that I appreciated you guys and everything you guys did and sticking by me. And my knot-headed sister here. I was gonna say, these guys got down here and got me, but it wouldn't have started without her. No one even really bothered caring where I was or what I was doing except for her, and it means a lot. And everyone else is just like, oh, he's probably off just farting somewhere, and there's actually that one person who's worried and wants to make sure that you actually come home safe. And I'm thankful to have her in my life. I went up there to pick up a friend. My friend wasn't there. And I got led on a wild goose chase prior to it, because I got told that it was up the backside of Wolverine. So when I got there, I was a little annoyed. And another fellow of mine that I know came up to me, and we got in a little bit of an argument. But we solved it right then and there. We talked through it. And then the fire was starting to die down, and I didn't see my friend, and he was already leaving. So I got in my truck and I pulled out behind him, and he was able to go a lot faster down that dirt road than I was willing to want to try. And I do about 40 down that road. And a little white car came around the corner, and it was just instinct to jolt the wheel because of where they were at, and I knew I was gonna hit them. And I really don't remember much after that besides waking up the next day. And to tell you the truth, at first I thought I was still dreaming because I didn't know where I was at. All I could see was dirt and white. And it took me a few hours to even realize that I was underneath my truck. And then panic kind of set in and freaked out for about 20 minutes. And then once I was able to actually calm myself down, I started to think, okay, what can I do? What are my choices here? And I started sticking my left leg up into the top corner of my windshield where the passenger side was, because there was a root that made a 90-degree angle. I was trying to pull myself up with my ankle to get my face out of the mud. When the truck landed and I went out the windshield, half my face was in mud and water, and this arm was tucked up underneath me. And I couldn't move it. I tried, and it felt like there was a giant prong right here. Actually urinated myself to dig the soft dirt out from underneath me to relieve some of the pressure on my chest and that. And I find a little more wiggle room after I did that. And towards the end of the second day that I was up there, I was starting to go a little delusional. I wasn't sure if anyone was actually looking, because I could hear vehicles go down the road, and I was screaming and just crying, trying to get someone's attention. And just where my truck was, you wouldn't have been able to see me or hear me. And when I started going delusional, you know, I started thinking that I was having conversations with her, having conversations with a guy named David, you know, and they weren't just like little, hey, how are you conversations. No, they were full-blown conversations. Afterwards, when you get out and you're sitting there and you're thinking about it, it's like, wow, I didn't realize how bad off I was. I didn't realize what I was even saying to myself to make it through, just to be okay. And I mean, I was adamant that I was gonna die. And then I swear it was a power stroke. I swore it was a power stroke, but it was a Cummins. And it was actually her and her friend, Jason. And they'd been looking for me for a while, and they seen a bunch of trash that was in the bed of my truck. And Jason gets out and says, God, they just leave this crap here? And I just opened up screaming and crying. And he came down and was like, we found him. Told her to go get some service and get these guys up there. The whole time I was under there and I could see Jason, I was screaming at him, please don't leave. That was my biggest thing, is I was terrified he was gonna leave. And then I wasn't gonna be, no one's coming back. It scared the living shit out of me. But then these heroes over here show up, and it was a little rough. As you can say, I ate a few piles of dirt by the time they got in my truck. But they were fast. They thought quick. You guys got the airbag underneath the front bumper first, right? Okay, so they got one of these airbags. I just put a layer in, and it lifted up the front bumper on my truck to where it wasn't squishing my head so far into the dirt. And the whole time he's under there with me. I mean, he's sitting there holding my hand, saying, "Hey, man, you know, everything's gonna be all right. We're here." You know, and I could start to feel that my hood come off my head and get a little wiggle room. And we got a little excited and tried to pull, and I was still pinched down underneath by my pelvis. And we got these a lot bigger airbags. I've never seen the airbags like this. And, you know, I've seen the ones inside the steering wheel that if you hit too hard, they go off. But they stacked them, and one of the boards came down and smacked me in the face. But it's all a part of it. I mean, I wouldn't have changed it either way. I mean, I probably would have changed the fact of where I was and what had happened, but just how they did it, you know, I can't give these guys enough gratitude for getting me out of there and making sure that I was okay and coming up and checking on me. And
the response time was immaculate. And then, you know, when we came down and he came up and talked to me when we were here at the hospital, he says, we were there for 2 hours. When you spend 2 hours with somebody, You know, you really want to make sure that they're okay when you're done and over with. And I looked up and I said it was 2 hours. It did not seem like 2 hours that we were up there. They were so quick about it, so persistent on coming and telling me everything that was going on as they were doing everything. When I called them and I'm talking to dispatch, I was no help at all. Is he alive? I have no idea. Is he breathing? Is he inside the truck, outside the truck? I had no idea if he was even okay. I didn't hear him yelling. I didn't hear anything. I just got in that truck and I left. And at that point in time, that's all. Getting help. And you guys were very, very fast about getting there. And then once I got up there and I found out that he was still alive, I was even more thankful. Scared me. For sure scared me. Going 2 days begging for help. Asking everybody, have you seen him? Have you heard from him? And you just keep getting the...
She even went to the sheriff's of Bonneville.
Bingham, Jefferson.
And they all
I called
told
everybody.
They all told her, well, we're not sure whose jurisdiction it is, so we can't help.
I was calling everybody, trying to get help. Just please, people, come help me look for him.
Tasha, how long were you out there looking before
I found him?
Yeah.
We were up there for about, took us 20 minutes from the time that we hit Maverick on Sunnyside and turned onto Ammon Road to get up to where he was. And on our way up there, we were looking on the shoulder of the road, stopping, walking, and making sure that he wasn't down in a ravine or anything somewhere. And the kid that was driving me up there, he said something just told me to come here. We gotta go check over here. Something's told me to come here. And that's when we found all of Joe's stuff on the side of the road. Before I could even get it out, that's Joe's stuff, that's out of his truck. He was yelling at me, get in that truck and go call 911 now. Don't you even stop. And like I said, I didn't know, but we were up there for 15, 20 minutes driving before we found him.
What's the prognosis from here, Joe? We see the bruises in your arms. Do you think you'll be able to go home soon? Can you walk? How are you feeling?
I've got a lot of bruises on my right side. This is where a lot of the weight was from my truck. I can walk. It's very difficult for me to get up and to walk and all that. I can do it. I've got a broken collarbone
Broken clavicle.
clavicle, and I don't have any feeling in this arm. That's why, I don't know if you guys notice, I've been up here playing with my fingers. Is because I can't feel them. And I was gonna say the swelling difference is phenomenal. I mean, this hand 3 days ago was a lot bigger than what it is today, but I mean, it's still pretty big for a hand. And my fingers are swollen up, and we're just hoping that when the swelling goes down, I'll get a little bit of movement back in it. I mean, I still even have mud in my hair. A lot of it's on this side, and that's because I won't let the darn nurse touch it, but because of behind this ear, I had a huge stick that was in the dirt, and a bunch of little ones that I was fighting with the whole time that I was up there. The either balance my head on for a little bit to keep it out of the water, or I was fighting with them to get them to a different spot so they weren't digging into my head. And it just ended up scratching the hell out of my backside here and leaving it looking all gnarly and bad. But on this arm, it's just mainly road rash. And then on this ankle, it's from where I shoved my ankle up into the windshield trying to pull myself up out of the water. As you can say, I'd honestly hurt the worst while I was doing it. And because I could feel it like strip away layers of skin as I was pulling, but it was either do something to keep my head out of the water or just give up and shove it all the way in. And I didn't want to leave my dog at home alone.
What's your dog's name?
Cooper.
Cooper.